Sounds good. All rolling. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our Emergency Operations Center. My name is Milton Durango. I'm the Communications Manager for the Fort Bend County. I want to welcome everyone and I appreciate your attendance to our press conference. We want to hear some of the updates you will hear from the judge, Fort Bend County Judge, and some of the other essential departments on the subject matter for the weather in the county. Some house rules I want to go over with you guys. We will have Q&A at the end of the presentation. Just want to ask you just raise your hand, introduce yourself and the name of your organization so we identify who you are. Once you're called upon, we just ask you to just keep your questions to the subject matter of today's press conference. Don't want to take more time for you guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our Fort Bend County Judge, K.P. George.
Thank you, Milton. Thank you. Thank you especially for the media, for being here. And I know that you, this is a short time you are able to make it, and thank you for being here. Good afternoon. And like I said, I thank you for joining. And I just wanted to acknowledge, starting with our county departments, an incredible dedication and cooperation from the county staff, first responders, our partner and jurisdictional agencies in Fort Bend County who worked around to ensure that our community is safe. And the purpose of this briefing is to provide you with the most up-to-date information of the forecast, outlining county's preparedness efforts, and share practical steps for staying safe during this challenging time. And now I've been told the winter storm have a name named Enzo. Is now there's a name, and so we are doing everything possibly to update our community. Some of the latest updates I wanted to say tomorrow, Tuesday, January 21st, the county offices, county courts and every offices in the county will be closed before business tomorrow. And we will make a determination about Wednesday, tomorrow morning, and we will communicate that with you guys so that our employees and others have ample time to make preparation for what they need to do on Wednesday. And at this time, I always said the safety and security of our staff, our citizens, and everybody else is number one priority. And tomorrow, county offices are closed to means, and do not drive. And I'm sure our sheriff and others will be talking about it. Do not drive because these emergency vehicles are the only one can be out there so that they could help the people who are in need. At this time, I will invite our Office of Emergency Management Manager, Greg Babs, to give a weather update to give you an idea where we stand and what to expect next 24 hours. Greg?
Good.
She want to translate first? Yeah, let her go.
Oh, there is a translation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buenas tardes a todos, gracias por conectarse o estar aquí presentes. En cuanto estamos en la víspera de este sistema climático invernal, quiero empezar por reconocer a todas las personas por su increíble dedicación al personal, a los primeros auxilios, nuestras dependencias que están en colaboración, que trabajan arduamente para mantenernos actualizados y mantenernos protegidos. El propósito de esta ronda de prensa es para proporcionarles la información más actualizada del clima y también para mencionarles la preparación, los esfuerzos y medidas que hemos tomado para prepararnos y compartir pasos prácticos para mantenernos sanos y seguros. Claro, nuestra prioridad es su seguridad. Quiero mencionarles que este sistema climático ya tiene un nombre que se llama Enzo. Incluso si ustedes van a salir, solamente deben de salir si es absolutamente necesario. Mantengan las vías libres. Incluso quiero mencionar que mañana estaremos cerrados y del condado estará cerrado, todas las agencias y oficinas estarán cerradas del condado, y el miércoles lo actualizaremos sobre los días en porvenir. Gracias.
Thank you. Again, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining us for this press conference. Thank you, Judge. Thank you all departments for participating with the Emergency Operations Center and doing everything we can for the emergency, for the citizens out here in Fort Bend County. The Emergency Operations Center has been activated since Sunday at 8 a.m. and we've been closely monitoring this weather. I'll give you a quick weather update that we've got from our local meteorologist here for Fort Bend County. It's 2 o'clock right now, so our meteorologist is telling me that at 4 p.m. this afternoon, we'll continue to get a light dust of rain, possibly some sleet. We're already at 38 degrees. Temperatures we're at peak today at 38 degrees. We're going to start dropping for weather from now on. So again, 4 p.m. this afternoon will continue to 2 a.m. tonight. After 2 a.m., expected to see heavy precipitation, becoming heavier and transitioning to freezing rain, sleet to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So when the judge says stay off the roads starting tonight. Do all your travel now, make all your preparations now, and try to stay off those roads. Tomorrow morning, after 6 a.m., precipitation will transition from that sleet rain to snow. And there will be snow flurries until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain up to 4 to 6 inches of snow tomorrow. That is Tuesday until 3 p.m. Overnight lows will be in the upper 20s with an afternoon high tomorrow of 35 degrees. So we're never going to get above freezing tomorrow, especially with that feels-like temperature. So once that precipitation hits and the snow starts, the roads are going to be iced over, and that's why everyone's taking this high emergency and telling everybody to stay off the roads. We will not see that warming until Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock into 12 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Again, there's going to be a lot of precipitation, a lot of freezing rain and snow on those roads. It's going to take a lot of time for that to get off. So again, limit your travel definitely tomorrow into Wednesday morning and overnight Wednesday night. Preparedness measures, again, take those steps now. If you haven't, protect your people, protect your neighbors. If you know that they've had those vulnerable conditions, check on them, check your generators, making sure that they are up and running and ready to go, just in case we do have a power failure. Again, ERCOT's grid looks good. We don't see any failures at this point. We've been talking to them. CenterPoint has staged resources throughout the region, just in case this freeze brings any failures, and ready to go. Travel safety, again, stay off the roads as much as you can, and the Sheriff's Office and a couple other departments will talk about that. We do have some warming centers up. Those have started since last night. HHS, our Health and Human Services Department, will bring those up. Watch for those power outages, and again, if you have those, make sure that you have capabilities for preparedness measures for those power outages. If you don't, please get to those warming centers if you need. Health and safety, again, we're going into a Texas environment with some cold weather. We're worried about frostbite, hypothermia, and all that kind of stuff, so please take that into account as you're moving into these cold conditions. And we want to really stress that we've been in coordination with our Texas Division of Emergency Management, working on any types of resources that will need to be staged for the county for our preparedness. Please follow us on Facebook. We've got Fort Bend County Homeland Security Emergency Management. Our public information officer is pushing all that information out on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can jump on our website, www.fbctx.gov, to get all that information and to link into our social media if you can't find it. We've also got an app. So if you want to download our app, it's Fort Bend County Office of OEM. On Android and Apple, you can download that app. You can follow all of our information and all of our alerts. You can also download FBC Alert and 888-777, so 888-777, and you can text in there FBC Alert, all one word, and then sign up for our alerting, and you'll get all of our alerting. If you need to contact the Emergency Operations Center, you can jump on our app. There's a non-emergency button on there. You can type in and let us know that you have some sort of issue that's a non-emergency. If it is an emergency, we're calling 911. But you can jump on that app, or you can call our non-emergency line, which is 281-341-4665. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Para cerrar, les voy a actualizar sobre nuestro sistema climático. Nos han avisado los meteorólogos locales del sistema climático. Un momento, por favor. Nos han actualizado desde las 2 de la tarde que el frío está por venir. Son las asegúrese, como dijo el alcalde, asegúrese de mantener las vías libres. Incluso quiero mencionar que mañana estaremos cerrados en el condado. Así que, por favor, asegúrense de mantener las vías limpias y claras. Y nuestro sistema de operaciones de emergencia va a permanecer abierto para todos los que necesiten. Incluso va a haber centros de calentamiento. Y estamos monitoreando cercamente para ayudar a todas las personas a mantenerse actualizadas en el clima. Y nuestras oficinas estarán cerradas mañana y miércoles. Los mantendremos comunicados. Y sépanse que ustedes son nuestra prioridad. Gracias.
Thank you. At this time, we will move on to county's readiness and response, how we are preparing to take care of our citizens. And I will invite our Fort Bend County's largest law enforcement agent, Fort Bend County Sheriff Department, represented by Fort Bend County Sheriff Eric Fagan.
Good evening. The most important thing we want everyone to know is to stay safe. As Greg said, if you need to get any supplies, do it now. The roadways will be kind of treacherous later on today and later on in tomorrow and into Thursday. Be careful, especially going over overpasses. Be careful of slick roads and icy conditions. Drive slowly. If you have to drive, drive slowly and carefully, but all possible, stay off the roadways for emergency vehicles. If you have elderly family members that you're concerned about, please reach out to the Sheriff's Office, Yana Division. We'll be more than happy to come out and check. My agency will be open all day, every day. And we have warming centers that they'll be talking about as well. Like Judge George says, the most important thing is the citizens of Fort Bend County and our employees. Work with us to keep each other safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Lo más importante para nosotros es que ustedes tengan suficientes suministros, así que mantengan todas sus provisiones y sus suministros y mantengan las vías libres de congestionamiento. Asegúrense de protegerse. Ya saben que vamos a tener el clima severo hoy, mañana. Especialmente tengan cuidado si tienen que viajar, tengan cuidado en los puentes, ya que las vías, las carreteras van a estar muy resbalosas, así que conduzcan con cuidado y conduzcan despacio. Mantengan las vías vacías para los servicios de emergencia. Si ustedes tienen parientes ya ancianos o de tercera edad, por favor manténganse en comunicación con ellos y por favor comuníquese con el condado de Alguacil, del Sheriff Office, la división, para así asegurarse de que ustedes estén protegidos y apoyados. También, como ya mencioné, tenemos centros de calentamiento y lo más importante es mantener sanos y seguros los ciudadanos del condado de Fort Bend County. Gracias.
One of the most important things we need to learn and understand how our roadways are behaving, and also who is watching out what is happening and how they're prepared. And in order to explain those details, I will invite our Road and Bridge Commissioner, Scott Beaver. Scott.
Thank you, Judge. As the Judge said, we have been monitoring our roadways. We are currently out and about right now, putting out sanding all the bridges within Fort Bend County. We will be fully staffed throughout the night with a minimal crew so that we can come in and help with emergency situations if needed. Like the sheriff said, please, if you can, do not travel the roads. Leave the roads open and available for all the emergency vehicles. Be safe, just stay off the roadways, and we'll work with taking care of any concerns or any emergency situations that we can at any time. But please, stay safe, stay warm, and stay off the roadways. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Hemos estado
Go ahead.
colocando arena en todos los puentes para así asegurarnos de que nuestras vías estén menos resbalosas, pero solamente mantenga su viaje en mínimo, asegurándose que los vehículos de emergencia tengan la prioridad en las vías. Manténganse de nuevo en comunicación con el alguacil. Si se necesitan, eviten las vías y para cualquier situación de emergencia, manténganse sanos, seguros y dentro de sus hogares. Gracias.
And at this time, we will move on to the next item, public safety guidance and community support. We have numerous departments will be preparing to deal with our citizens, our pets, and all other, all in between. And so I just wanted to invite at this time our Director of Health and Human Services, Dr. Gail Law. Doctor?
Thank you, Judge, and good afternoon, everyone. Our teams are actively monitoring current situations here in the county. Fort Bend County Health and Human Services has been responsible for raising up an overnight warming center at Attack Poverty on yesterday. And that warming center at Attack Poverty, located in North Richmond, will be open every day from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. There will also be additional shelters that will be opened, and they are Fort Bend County libraries. They are Fulshire Branch Library in Fulshire, the George Memorial Library in Richmond, the Mission Bend Branch Library in Houston, and the Missouri City Branch Library in Missouri City, along with the City of Arcola, located at the Arcola City Hall. Those library warming centers and City of Arcola Warming Center will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And those facilities will be open for the next 2 days. Also, Fort Bend County Health and Human Services is responsible for amplifying messaging, so you'll be able to find messages that are what the Emergency Operations Center is reiterating. We will have those on our website, social media, and Nextdoor, all with the handle at Fort Bend Health. Our preparedness teams will also reiterate the same as everyone else to ensure the 4 Ps are taken care of. Those are your people, pipes, plants, and pets. We want to encourage you to ensure that you have filled all of your prescriptions before this evening. Make sure that those who have elders or seniors, that you check on them, ensure that they have the things that they need to be safe and secure. And please note that it's important for those who have functional needs or power-dependent medical equipment to sign up for STEER, which is State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry, and residents can call 211 for registration assistance. Also know that as our sheriff has told us, sheriff deputies are available to assist in checking on senior residents. And also precinct 4 constables have also made available themselves to assist with transport to warming centers. And you'll begin to hear more information about safety and other things to look out for medically from our EMS and fire chiefs. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Incluso sepan que los centros de calentamiento están disponibles todo mañana y hasta el miércoles. Estarán en las siguientes ubicaciones. Estamos en el YMCA de Mark A. Chapman en Katy, Texas. También está en Monte Ballard, del YMCA de Cinco Ranch. También están en las bibliotecas del condado de Fort Bend, la biblioteca de Fulshire Branch Library, también es George Memorial Library, en Mission Bend Branch Library y Missouri City. Y también está en el centro, en la ciudad de Arcola, en City Hall de Arcola. El centro de calentamiento será de las 10 de la mañana hasta las 6 de la tarde. Por favor, conéctense. De nuevo estarán abiertos por los siguientes 2 días y esto lo proporcionará el condado de Fort Bend, los servicios de seguridad, servicios humanos y seguridad. Ellos son responsables por amplificar las medidas y mensajes para las operaciones, el centro de operaciones de emergencia. Ahí estamos, tenemos el sitio web, tenemos los medios sociales y estamos todos preparándonos, tenemos nuestros equipos. Estamos reiterándole a las personas, por favor, mantengan esto en mente. Por favor, cuiden de sus conocidos, la tubería, sus plantas y sus mascotas. Queremos animar a todos de mantenerse con suficiente medicamento antes y después de este sistema climático, y también que manténganse en comunicación con las personas mayores, así garantizando, ayudándolos con su seguridad. Y tomen en cuenta las necesidades de funcionamiento, las personas que necesiten equipo electrónico. Los animamos a que se conecten con el sistema STEER, que es el sistema de asistencia de emergencias de Texas. Ustedes se pueden inscribir llamando al 211 si necesitan asistencia. Déjenos saber, incluso si necesitan asistencia, por favor comuníquese con el alguacil y los delegados del alguacil si necesitan ayuda al transportarlos a los centros de calentamiento. Gracias.
Thank you. Any kind of snowstorm or freeze event, we deal with a lot of fire-related issues, space heaters and generators and all that stuff. And it is something we need to take it seriously, and many times a lot of these incidents can be avoidable. And to talk about the safety and security of these situations just mentioned, I will invite the Assistant Chief Fire Marshal, Warner Preston. Warner?
Good afternoon. I want to cover just a few safety reminders. For one reason or another, you end up using candles. Always remember to be sure to keep the candles clear of any type of combustible or flammable materials. Do not leave the candles unattended and put them out before you were to go to sleep. Talk about some heaters, electric heaters. Keep it at least 3 feet away from flammable materials such as furniture and curtains. Plug directly into wall outlets. Never use them with extension cords. Turn them off when leaving the room. Check the cord and plug for any damage before use. And consider models with automatic shut-off features in case of tip over. Fireplace safety. Never leave fireplaces unattended. Always use a fire screen. Never use flammable liquids to start the fire. Extinguish fire completely before leaving the room or going to bed. And keep children and pets away from the fireplaces. never run your cars while trying to stay warm in the garage. That will generate a bygas of CO, carbon monoxide. Do not burn any open fires inside of the resident. There again, that will also generate a byproduct of CO. Do not use your stovetop or your oven to heat the house. And never use gas heaters in the house or in the garage. And generator safety. Never use a generator inside the house or the garage. Place generators at a minimum of 10 feet from any openings such as doorways or windows. This will reduce the amount of carbon monoxide from entering the house as well. Never store fuel next to the generator or inside of the house. Check all extension cords that are to be used for cuts or exposed wires. Probably one of the main deals is to check all smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in the home and make sure that they are working properly. Thank you, and remember to stay weather aware and safe.
Buenas tardes a todos. Vamos a hablar un poquito sobre la seguridad dentro del hogar para prevenir incendios. Si ustedes tienen que utilizar velas, por favor recuerden de mantener las velas en un lugar libre de cualquier tipo de combustible o materiales flamables. Nunca deje las velas sin supervisión. Por favor, mantengan los calentadores por lo menos 3 pies de cualquier artículo que se pueda quemar o de muebles o cortinas. Conéctenlos directamente a la pared. Nunca utilicen una extension cord. Y revisen el cuarto, revisen los alambres, asegúrense de que no haya daños y que estén utilizando los modelos más recientes para prevenir si acaso un incendio, por si acaso se vierten. Nunca utilicen líquidos flamables para extinguir una quemazón y asegúrense de no dejar el cuarto hasta que absolutamente hayan extinguido o apagado cualquier tipo de vela o cualquier tipo de apagar cualquier tipo de calentadores que no estén bajo supervisión. Mantengan a los niños y sus mascotas fuera de cualquier tipo de lumbre y asegúrense de mantener su lugar libre de los generadores. Tienen que estar por lo menos 10 pies para así evitar la producción del carbono de monóxido que puede vertirse a su hogar. Incluso no calienten su casa, no usen como calefacción lo que son las estufas, los hornos. Mantengan los generadores a 10 pies de cualquier entrada de su casa para así reducir el carbono de monóxido, para que no entre a su hogar. Nuestra meta es de asegurarnos que ustedes tengan sus detectores de humo dentro de su casa y que estén trabajando de manera adecuada.
At this time, Fort Bend County is blessed with comparing many other counties. We have a vibrant EMS services in Fort Bend County, and no matter what the weather is, when you have a medical emergency, they are the one coming and taking care of you and transporting you to the nearest hospitals to get your medical services you needed. At this time, I will invite EMS Chief Dudley Waite to come and give us a briefing about how we are prepared as far as our EMS are concerned. Come on, sir.
Howdy, good afternoon. EMS, like you've heard from the other county departments, have been preparing for this cold spell, been preparing with our neighboring EMS agencies and our local acute care hospitals to make sure that we're all ready and prepared for what the next 36 to 48 hours is going to bring us. Our hospitals are well prepared with staffing and the ability to carry on their normal services in emergency situations during the next couple of days. And our EMS agency as well is bringing in additional personnel and putting additional ambulances on the road so that we'll be prepared for anything that this weather may bring us. one of the things that is important for everybody to know is, and this happens when people call 911 for an ambulance, one of the first concerns is, where is that ambulance and how long is it going to take to get here? And we're not immune to the slick roads and the treacherous travel. The only difference between our ambulance and your car is about 10,000 pounds. And so it will take us longer to get to your residence. And if you need to go to the emergency room, it will take us longer to get to the emergency room. But our staff is well trained. We will have the ability to care for you during that extended transport. But understand that the timing will be a little bit delayed. One of the things that you've heard over and over again from this press conference is stay off the roads. And EMS definitely wants to reiterate that. Stay off the roads, stay home. There's nothing to see out there. Spend your time at home. But the other thing that I want to bring up from EMS's perspective is when you go outside to enjoy the winter wonderland that we're about to have, be very cautious with your driveways, your sidewalks, and the area around your swimming pools. These areas are not getting treated, and you come outside with shoes with a warm sole and you step on that icy surface. You may be like some of those YouTube or Instagram videos that we all like to watch and laugh at. So be cautious, be careful. Falls are our #1 response during times of ice and snow, and we do not want to come see you during those times. So get out there with your kids, get out there as a family and enjoy that. But just be very careful on the paved surfaces. Try to keep your time in the grass. You heard about carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a killer, and it's a killer during times like this. Some of the signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are headaches, dizziness, nausea and vomiting, and even the potential of somebody being unconscious where you can't wake them up. CO poisoning is not discriminatory. It will affect everybody in the building, everybody to a different degree. So you may have somebody with a headache and somebody you can't wake up. If you see any of these signs, open your house, get the ventilation going, and call 911. That way the levels can be checked by the fire department, and EMS can be there to treat and transport, if necessary, the residents of your house if that occurs. The other one during this time of the year, and it's not something we talk a lot about in the Fort Bend County area, is hypothermia. Hypothermia is a real risk in these temperatures below freezing. Hypothermia can come on slowly, and if we're outside, the kids are outside, especially the youngest of the kids are outside, and they're getting wet, and they're having a good time, but they're out in those cold temperatures, or we lose power, and you have an elderly neighbor or a loved one that is in their residence without power. They're extremely susceptible to hypothermia. Shivering that they cannot control, confusion, weakness, maybe even the inability to put together a conversation are all signs of hypothermia. And again, if you see those, or you can take their temperature, if their temperature is below 95 degrees, summon help, summon EMS, we will come out and evaluate them, start the warming process, and get them to the hospital. But the big thing with hypothermia, when you come in from outside, when your kids come in from outside, get out of the wet clothes, get into dry clothes, get under a blanket, and get rewarmed, and take frequent breaks when you're outside. I hope that you don't have to meet any of our crews, but if you do, rest assured we're prepared, and we'll get your medical emergency taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Estamos preparándonos para las 36 a 48 horas para llevar a cabo las situaciones de emergencia. Nuestra agencia está bien preparada, tenemos el personal, hemos llamado a ambulancias adicionales, hemos llamado a más equipo, más ambulancias, y pidiendo más apoyo. Y como ya se ha dicho muchas veces, mantengan las vías libres para que así nuestros vehículos puedan pasar. La única diferencia entre nuestro vehículo y su vehículo es que el de nosotros pesa unas 10,000 libras más. Así que sí, de hecho nos toma un poquito más tiempo para llegar a su residencia y nos va a tomar un poquito más de tiempo para llevarlos a las salas de urgencias. Pero de hecho tenemos, nuestro personal está bien capacitado, bien preparado para cuidar de usted durante este periodo. dicho, mantengan las vías libres. Eso lo queremos enfatizar. Usted va a estar pasando mucho tiempo afuera, se estarán divirtiendo en este sistema invernal. Queremos que se diviertan, pero asegúrense que cuando su pie hace contacto, su pie que ya está un poco más caliente, ese contacto con el piso que está con hielo, se pueden resbalar y van a salir como uno de los videos que nos divierte tanto mirar. Así que tengan eso en mente, tengan cuidado, queremos que se diviertan, pero solo usen precaución. Para evitar la hipotermia tienen que asegurarse de tomar pausa, asegúrense de mantenerse calientes. Cuando entren a su hogar, quítense la ropa mojada. Si usted sospecha que alguien en su familia sufre de hipotermia, pueden tomar su temperatura si está a menos de los 95 grados Fahrenheit. Esto indica que están entrando en hipotermia. Lo recomendable es de que se quiten la ropa mojada, se abriguen. Señas de la hipotermia consisten en escalofríos frecuentes, confusión, cansancio o no tener sentido, no hablar con sentido. Entonces tengan cuidado. Y solo queremos enfatizar que estamos bien preparados y nuestro sistema está preparado para tomar sus llamadas. Gracias.
Thank you. Now we will move on to, last but not least, our animal services. And I always said this, many times these pets get overlooked, and it is freezing temperature out there. There are people who have a habit, some people have a habit of keeping them outside. They are animals who can feel this freezing temperature. They can be dangerous, they can even die. And so, first of all, don't do it. If you see somebody leaving their pet outside without proper heating and proper care, and that is neglect, and so call us, and we wanted to make sure these pets are taken care of. At this time, I will invite our Director of Animal Services, Renee Vasquez, to give us some update on what to do and what not to do. Thank you.
So hello everyone. So we're with Animal Services. I'm kind of here just to basically talk about the small animals. At the shelter, everyone is good. We had a crazy, remarkable foster for the winter. We put something out last week, and we were able to get almost 60 animals out of our shelter. So now they will be spending these next few days in warm homes with people, and hopefully, be foster failures, and maybe we'll get some animals adopted. With that being said, like the judge said, it is cold. 2-3 days ago, we were in the 70s. Now we're going to be in the teens. So please, if you can, absolutely bring the animals in your home, provide for them what they need inside. And we do understand there is times where maybe a big dog, does not want to go in a house or so on and so forth. Still, provide warmth for them. If you can bring them in your garage, maybe a heat lamp, whatever you can do safely. If the animals are outside, you definitely want to have a dog house. You want to make sure that the opening of the dog house is away from the north side. Big blankets, hay, straw, you name it, where you can keep those animals warm. A lot of us have feral cats. We're in trap, neuter, return programs. So if those cats are out there that obviously cannot come inside, there's different techniques. You can use the plastic bins, cut a hole in it. The animals will go in there, same thing, blankets, hay, accommodate them with some type of warmth, or just, blankets on the back porch, just to give them something to get them, out of the cold. Normally what really gets the animals is the strong wind. So hopefully that, will be a little bit low, and we'll be okay there. Just like EMS mentioned, when you're out, your clothes gets wet. When you let the pets out, just be smart and not have them out as long as normal. When you come in with the pets, if their paws are wet, dry them up. Obviously they're going to be cold, especially your smaller dogs or your cats that you let in and out. So you definitely want to, take precaution for that. And for the animals that possibly are outside, always remember, the water's gonna freeze if you have a pail, if you have a water bowl, so on and so forth. So maybe keep water in a different container, in an area where the water will not freeze, where you can obviously offer them water throughout these next 36 hours, because more than likely we're gonna stay at freezing temperatures, so the water outside in any type of container is going to freeze. That being said, like the judge said, we do have a few people that will be on call. If it's absolutely something crazy, please reach out to the county, to the shelter, and we'll see how we can accommodate. Thank you.
Hola, buenas tardes, soy el director de los servicios de animales. Estamos hablando un poco sobre nuestras mascotas hoy en día. Tenemos que tomar en cuenta nuestros animales, especialmente los pequeños. Ellos también tienen frío, tenemos de cuidarlos, asegurarnos que sus pezuñas, ya cuando salgan del frío y entran a la casa, que estén secas. La semana pasada acabamos de tener un evento donde adoptaron más de 60 animales, así que ellos ya van a estar en lugares calientes, pero posiblemente hay ocasiones en cuanto los animales se puedan tener frío. Eviten, si sus mascotas no quieren entrar, ya que tienen un perro muy grande, asegúrense de tener un lugar apto para ellos, específicamente los garajes. Si ustedes tienen mascotas o hay animales silvestres, ustedes también pueden proporcionar un lugar para ellos, ya sea una caja de plástico, cobertores, ponerlos afuera para que ellos también se puedan calentar. Podemos, como ya mencionó el servicio de emergencia, si a la gente si se le moja la ropa, pueden secarlos igual que el animal. Si miran que su mascota está mojado, entonces séquenlo. Ellos sienten frío como cualquier persona. Recuérdese, va a congelar, así que protejan a sus animales. Gracias.
Thank you. That's a lot of information is being shared, and I hope you take all those information seriously and follow through on it. We encourage residents to monitor our official county updates. We talk about all the social media pages and our app and news media and TV and other means of communication. Please stay tuned. Text messaging alerts, and as Greg rightfully mentioned, 888-777 and punching FBC alerts, and so they will send you timely alerts when it needed. And talking about OEM app and so on and so forth, definitely check your local news media. At this time, I will reiterate some of the conversations we had. Protect your pipes, secure water supplies, check heating systems in advance, avoid non-essential travel. We said this many times. During freezing conditions, to reduce road hazards and also give way to emergency vehicles and EMS and all, so on and so forth. I want to thank each and every one of you here and our staff, county residents, first responders, partners, for all of you to listening and understanding and following through during this tough time. During this time, we are dealing with snowstorm Enzo. We encourage residents to remain vigilant and prepared, and always remember that Fort Bend County is here to support our community, and we are always available to do that. With that, this will conclude our information part of our press conference. If you have any questions, we will entertain at this point.
Queremos animar a todos los residentes a monitorear cercamente las actualizaciones, entrando en nuestros medios sociales, a las alertas del texto, mensajes de texto. Recuerden, es 888-777, como ya se mencionó, el sitio web y también las noticias locales. Muy importante proteger su tubería, proteger sus suministros de agua, revisar la calefacción con tiempo. Asegúrese de no viajar al menos de que sea absolutamente necesario durante esta temporada de congelación, así evitar peligros en las vías. Quiero agradecer a todo el personal del condado, los de primeros auxilios, las dependencias, en colaboración con nuestro trabajo arduo y el apoyo que nos brindan. Queremos animar a toda persona a mantenerse vigilantes y preparados. Siempre recuerden que el condado de Fort Bend está aquí para apoyar la comunidad. En este momento vamos a tomar preguntas y respuestas.
Any questions?
Have you spoken with Centerpoint? How reliable is one of the main concerns for residents? How reliable is the grid right now?
Greg, you wanted to add something? Go ahead.
Thank you for the question, sir. Yes, we've been in coordination with Centerpoint. Currently, the grid is supposed to maintain. No possible grid failures at this time. And we have Centerpoint staged in the area just in case there are some issues, especially with the freezing ice and stuff coming on. Some of those power lines are bringing them down. Yes.
Should residents do something, lower temperatures, or just?
Again, ERCOT and Centerpoint have sent out on their pages, we've been sharing some of their stuff. Again, for those residents, take those preactive measures, and we've been following their guidance. Yes.
Greg, do you know how many Centerpoint staff are staged in Fort Bend County?
Currently, I don't know the exact number. Again, in the region, they're all throughout the region, and then we have the opening for the fairgrounds when they're gonna be staffed.
Do you know that driving around the roadways, you can tell that they're treated, some of them. Can you tell us maybe why people still should not drive on those roads even though they've been treated? And maybe how many miles of roads have been treated at this point?
Thank you, good question. I know TxDOT has been treating a lot of their roadways, and I don't know the amount of miles that they're doing, but I know that when TxDOT treats their roadways, they use the liquid they put out, and as they put it out, they do the roadways along with the bridge structures themselves. So they do quite a bit. We still use a rock, it's called a chat rock, that we with spreader trucks that we put out, and we utilize that. It all depends on the weather. It all depends on how much rain you get, if it'll make it a liquid, if you will, how you say, lessen the effect of the liquid. And also, if we use the chat rock, it kind of stays a little tighter, stays a little better. And in Fort Bend County, we have a lot of wooden bridges still, so we still like to use the chat rock as we go back out in the rural areas. But as far as the material goes, all the material works good. It just depends on the conditions it's being put under with the rain and different weather and freezing and everything else on snow on top of it. So it's just be careful out there and try your best to stay off the roadways.
Do you know how many roadways you've been able to treat, the county? The miles you've been able to
We have, in Fort Bend County, we have over 2,000 miles of roadway that we maintain, but we're mainly just purposing looking at bridges on our sources. The majority of our roads are all asphalt roads. A lot of them are asphalt roads. A lot of the major thoroughfares are now concrete, but we're not really treating the roadway itself. We're just mainly focusing on anything that's elevated above where the air can get underneath it and create a freezing surface.
Yeah, I just wanted to say definitely, county-owned roads are 2,264 miles, I think. And it is absolutely impossible to treat all the roadways. And as you heard, we will be focused on areas where predominantly there was risk in the past, and those bridges and high elevated areas. So that's the reason why we are requesting people not to drive, if at all possible.
If someone's getting off work maybe late tonight, should they avoid main like street driving or focus more on highways, or what do you recommend?
See, I cannot advise on that. You wanted to add the
The problem with roadways freezing is black ice. That's something people don't see. And the roads are slick. So we're advising, if all possible, stay off of any high-rise roads, any bridges. If you can, stay on the lower level roads, if all possible. But the best thing to do is stay off the roadways. If someone's hurt and need help, and we're out there trying to get to them, you're blocking us if you break down on the roads, because now we have to deal with you, and that can cost someone their life. So we're asking you all to work with us to stay off the roadways as much as possible.
Judge, 4 years ago, we had a really bad winter storm. You were judge at the time. Can you please tell us what are maybe some lessons that you learned from that 4 years ago? What you're doing differently this time? And has the county purchased any winter equipment that could better help with this storm this time around?
Yeah, I will invite Scott to talk a little bit about it, but I just want you to know that in a county all the way to the south side of the United States, it is not possible to invest millions and millions of dollars in winterizing equipment, and I don't believe we bought additional equipment other than what we have. So we always take these issues one issue at a time, and so there are, obviously we learn more location need to be treated and more area we have to be careful. Each event is different, and at this time, Scott, if you wanted to add something to what I said, that would be good.
Yes, sir. Each event, we've learned that each event is different every time. This one here, we're hoping more that it's going to be, they're saying the rain is going to shut down, and it's going to be more of a snow event. If that's the case, we're not having rain accumulating onto the power lines, onto the trees, onto the other, where it's going to make a heavier condition to where we're going to create more down power lines because of the others. We're really hoping that it's going to be a snow event more than anything, because it's such lighter, easier to deal with. Something that we have done, get prepared with. Us in emergency management, we've also gotten a lot more generators, a lot of other different locations where we can set those up. We've been preparing to set up generators at several locations, the heating centers and all that, in case we do lose power, we're ready to go. All we gotta do is fire the generators up, and we'll be on generator power to cover back up. But that is one of the main things we can do. That'll work with us, whether it's a weather event or a hurricane or whatever, so. But that is some of the stuff we have been working on.
And I just wanted to, Greg, if you wanted to add, answer your question, learning from what happened. We have more warming centers. We have our employees shelter. For example, these all people, sheriff's people come. They don't, doesn't matter, they are 24/7 people, and we have this time we have generator attached to that. So there are numerous generators we bought, and so not to treat specifically the roadways additional equipment, I don't think we haven't bought that, but we are addressing, because it is very hard to understand what our real needs are. Like I said, every situation is different. Greg, you wanted to add how many more those kind of stuff we have done when it comes to addressing, maybe taking care of the weather?
Yes, Judge. Again, because we don't have the resources, what we've done is, again, stage our resources that we do have, which we didn't do last time because we weren't ready for this, right? This time, again, learn from our mistakes. So again, we've staged out, Scotty's put out tons of crews throughout Fort Wayne County to respond when this stuff happens. We've opened up the EOC, activated early, brought staff in, brought sheriff's offices, expanded its staff, EMS has expanded its staff, expanded our warming centers, again, to help service those needs as they come into this freeze type event. So as we couldn't get resources because it doesn't, like the judge says, doesn't make sense for a short period of time to bring all these millions of dollars of resources and waste taxpayer dollars, it's what we have now to stage that stuff to respond in the need.
And assuming there is no other question, we will conclude this, and I just wanted to say, be safe out there. You all are also driving, please. Thank you for sharing this information with our community. Once again, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.